Good morning, good evening to everybody jumping in. It's so good to see you here. I nearly couldn't say here, apparently. I slept in a little this morning, so I'm not quite as awake as usual. Jerry's here. I just saw the title and it reminded me I was going to send you a DM for Aussie Snacks. You need to do it. I was thinking about what I was going to put in it this weekend. Live stream consultants, good afternoon. Hope your weather there in Brisbane is better than the thunderstorm monsoon season here in New Mexico. Well, it's a little overcast and just a little bit drizzly and rainy today. It's pretty warm though, surprisingly for the weather that we're having, but it's not my favorite weather. I prefer like the blue skies, colder winter. Now that I have a heater, after last week's stream, I ended the stream. I went out and spoke to my daughter, borrowed her car, and went straight out and bought a heater for this room. I've been using this little tiny heater now. It's like this big. It's the tiniest thing I've ever seen. It's so cute, but it heats up this room just perfectly. It's very loud is the catch. So I heat the room up, turn the heater off, then stream. Okay, and now the pets actually fight over who gets to sit in the path of the heater. And Louis is actually winning, which is hilarious because he doesn't usually win at anything. He's normally quite a give-uppy boy and lets the cats do whatever they want. Anyway, enough of that. Creative Classroom says that we're having thunderstorms here in North Carolina as well. Looks like there is a bit of rain and the like happening around the place. So, water's good in small doses and not all at once. So today's title, I wanted to talk to you all about navigating comments, posts, and DMs, because I'm sure you get them. Whether it is during the live stream, which we have discussed in previous videos where we have live moderation, we have Creative Classroom here with the wrench today, where you have your moderators trained, or at least understanding what your expectations are, keeping the conversation flowing and friendly, and depending on whatever it is that you want in your chat. Now, I know I put like a short out ages ago, and there was this massive discussion over moderation, and you need to have the right moderators for your community. So in my community, these are the things that I like, but you might like something else in your community. And as long as your moderators know what you accept and what you don't accept, then that works for you and your community. And when I like, because I am a heavy-handed moderator in my community, I'm trying to make a place where people are comfortable to ask their questions, whether they might seem silly to somebody or not, but they might be new and they don't know. They don't know, so they might not even know how to ask the question properly. So I want to try and keep it in a place that they feel comfortable to do so without being piled on. If you've got one of those communities where it is like hardcore pile on is part of the entertainment, then you need to let your moderators know that that's okay and you allow that. So whatever it is that you allow in your community, your moderators need to be on the same page, is where I'm getting at with that. So we've had these huge conversations. There's entire live streams dedicated to it, where we talk about moderation in your live stream, but we haven't really touched on what happens when you're no longer live. So we're talking about comments on your videos, comments on your replays, people writing posts and tagging you in them, and also like DMs is another one. So and just where individually you need to think about where you can draw the line, because there gets a point where people feel that they can that they get upset or angry at you because you haven't done what they wanted you to do, which you were never going to do. And then they get upset and then they send you like a big DM or post about why they're upset and why they're not going to follow you anymore. Do you know what? You don't have to respond. I actually got one this week. I'm not going to go into the details of it because each individual person, they actually have the right to their opinion. They're allowed to have their opinion, and their opinion is allowed to be different than yours. But you're also allowed to not respond to it. So it's really, really good for it's really good for your brain to know where your boundaries are, where your personal boundaries are. And everyone's will be different. I know of some people who just love to do the back and forward and have the conversation and try to either turn them around or just, having fun tongue in cheek. They're like, well, they're gone anyway. I'm not that person. And I tend to find that working out whether it is encouraging or constructive criticism, because that is real, that could totally be a thing, or whether it's just negative criticism or mean-spirited. But then there's, like, aside from just the DMs, but there's also the self-promo, and then there's the people that just are just like, they're the airline concourse. They like to announce their arrival and their departure. I'm not a big fan of the concourse people. Like, they're the ones that come into your live chats and they're like, I'm leaving because blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, bye. Thanks for announcing your departure. And usually, and what I want to say here is, usually those people that write those, they're leaving because their expectations were different than what the expectations that you set. So this is why I try to set an expectation at the beginning of a stream. Now, if somebody misses the beginning of a stream and they come in the middle and they may not have heard the expectations, you might want to respond to it like, well, at the start of the stream, we said we weren't doing this. Like in Nick Nimmon's streams, they don't do channel reviews on Saturdays. And the number of people that come in asking for channel reviews is, it's like, read the room. There's no channel reviews. No one's getting one. So it's kind of like that. They don't really get it. They want something that's not on offer. And this happens in DMs as well. Now, I just want to come and have a quick look in the chat here because I got sidetracked by my actual topic today. Let's have it. It's dark and gloomy for Freaky Geek as well. Oh, sorry. There's all right. I'll repost your one with the proper spelling too. I just translated it. Creative Classroom says she knows not to over moderate here. Yeah. But she also knows when someone is typically being a troll. That's right. Oh, DMs can be an absolute doozy. Yes, they can. Because sometimes people won't put in a comment publicly what they want and they think what they're putting into a DM is safe. I've got no qualms with screenshotting a DM and sharing it. Like, seriously, if you're going to write things to me in a DM that you don't want me to share with other people, and you're being mean, like if it's a personal thing, never. But if you're just like a self-promo SEO spammer or something, I'm legit screenshotting that to share with everybody to warn them off you, including your name. But if it's something like personal or private, of course I would never share that DM. But if you're a scammer or a spammer, different story. You are not safe. Oh yeah, Freaky Geek is a friendly troll. Freaky Geek is a friendly troll. Gmail is good at putting unwanted DMs into the spam folder. Yeah, look, Gmail is good at doing that, but I'm talking like if you're directly in your social. So if you're in Twitter, if you're in YouTube, if you're in Facebook, it's not so much the notification of the spam folder, because you're right there. I definitely get emails that just go straight into spam. I every now and again, I'll go through and just have a little read, just double check that something hasn't been incorrectly classified as spam, which it can happen. I would be checking that spam folder every now and again. I've nearly missed some very important things because they were just Gmail decided they were spam. So go in and check it at least once every 30 days. Because it gets emptied is it every 30 days it gets emptied, or is it every 60? But anyway, I check it every 30 days or so. As creators, we have to have boundaries from the Creator Classroom. We absolutely have to have boundaries. We absolutely have to have boundaries. And one of the things that I do, which is outside of my boundaries, and I kick myself every single time, is I wake up in the middle of the night, right? I do. I don't sleep all the way through. I wake up a couple of times in the middle of the night just to listen to sounds or whatever. And then I'll just check my socials just for 5 seconds. And that helps me to just, like, because usually I've been woken up because I heard something, right? And it'll just help calm me down and I'll go back to sleep. And I'll read DMs, but I won't reply to them. So they've seen that I've read them, but I haven't replied to them. So, you know, I should not read the DMs at that time of the night because I'm definitely not replying because, you know, I may write something less guarded or not exactly that I wanted because I'm still half asleep technically. Yeah, it's not RDU. RDU, you don't need to announce your departure. Creator Classroom says, as a viewer, I try to read the room of whatever stream I'm in. 100% agree. I 100% agree. I don't know who you timed out the other day in a stream, but I had blocked them in another stream, so I just saw you had hidden someone that I had blocked. Yeah, look, generally speaking, how someone acts in one stream is likely to be how they act in another stream. Not always the case, but sometimes the case. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting sort of dynamic there. My brother was a moderator for me a couple of years ago, and I managed to block my best friend from the channel during a live stream because he thought he was being a troll. Oh no, that's kind of hilarious. That's kind of hilarious. Luckily, in YouTube, you can unblock them if you know their name and you can find them in the block list. If your block list is extensive, it could take some time. It could take some time. So I've got coffee and I have water today. Let me know what you've got in your cups. That's actually a really good point to make there, Creator Classroom. And in that stream, I wasn't a moderator and they didn't have one available, so I blocked them so I didn't have to see it. When you are a viewer in a chat and you don't want to see the kind of comments that somebody else is making, if somebody is taking away from your enjoyment of the chat, you as an individual can block that person from your display of the chat. So say, I don't know if you can block a moderator, but if you just click on someone's name and you're not a moderator in this chat, you'll see an option to block that person from your view. So you'll be able to just, their comments will not appear in what you're looking at. It'll appear for everybody else. So if somebody replies to them, you might be like, what are they replying to? But you know, it's let's not block me. No, I don't plan on blocking you. And if I do it, I can block everybody. Like it won't work for me. But if you are a viewer, you can make it so that you don't see somebody's comment. So if somebody's just getting on your nerves or they're just being really me, gimme, and there's either no mods or the mods are leaving it for whatever reason, you can get rid of it so that your personal enjoyment of the chat is better. So let's have a look here. Hibiscus and mint tea. That actually sounds delicious. That really does. Why would you block a mod? You shouldn't be able to. I really hope you can't. If somebody could let me know in the chat if they've got the option to block the Creator Classroom, please don't. But if you've got the option, I'd love to know because I really don't think you should be able to. But that's a personal belief. That's not a definite answer. Good morning, Amazing Yacht Destinations. It's great to see you here in the chat. Livestream Consultants is having Glacier Freeze Gatorade Zero. Okay. Awesome. That sounds interesting. I don't mind the odd Gatorade. Yeah, so if you as a viewer click on so if you click on the 3-dot menu at the end of someone's comment, what are the options that you see? Because I, as the channel owner, have like a whole list of options. The mods have like a few as well. But what do you as the viewer have to see? I should have just grabbed a screenshot from a stream where I'm not a mod, but I didn't. I'm not prepared. Anyway, well, it's not that I'm not prepared. I didn't think I'd go this deep on this particular part of the conversation is what it was. So technically not prepared? Yeah, not prepared. Not prepared. So I wanted to talk about some reporter block. There you go. Thank you, Red Laser. I really appreciate you jumping in and letting me know. So when it says block for you, that means just blocking it from your view. Everybody else in the chat can still see it. I can still see it. Everybody else can. But it means that you as a viewer can curate what it is that you get to see. Oh, I do not like this. So you can actually block what a moderator is saying. Wow, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm going to write that down as a thing to mention next time I'm chatting with Renee Ritchie. Okay, thank you for that. Very much appreciate that. Channel history is fun to view as a moderator. Yes, it is. If you didn't know this, just so you know, moderators can look and read every single comment. Like at a click, we can click, you know, red laser and jump in and go, I want to see and it'll show you every comment. It caps out at a number, but I can't remember what it is. I think it's like 100. Every comment that person has left on your channel over the last however many time. So, you know, definitely an interesting option. Yeah, Marilyn M, I think it is weird. I do think that's weird. You should not be able to. Now, what that does is it just literally blocks their comments from your view, like not the whole chat, but yours, but I don't like that. Yeah, and creator classrooms, right? Channel history is available to all moderators, not just managing moderators. So, yeah, very interesting. But it'd be very interesting to see if Doug was here, which is not, he's probably on his way to work or doing something, because Doug's the managing moderator here on this channel. It'd be interesting to see if we could, you know, if there was anything we could do to him, like if we could block him. So yeah, it's definitely a thing. But what I wanted to know is what I wanted to talk about is some options and how to deal with the things that come in after a live stream. So the live stream is over, right? Not this one. This one's still going. I'm still here. You're still here. The live stream is over and there's comments coming up on your live stream. There's comments coming through your socials and there's DMs coming through. And what is it that you are, what is the expectation you are setting for your viewers and for your watchers and subscribers? So I know that some channels actually have, like, if you are a channel member, you get priority comments and you get access to DMs. Now, if you've made that a thing and they are a channel member, you really can't ignore them, right? Because you have promised them that access as a perk of your channel membership. Now, I don't have that perk here. So that's not an issue for me. But so you need to keep in mind promises that you've made. Like Jerry, I promised to check my DMs for a message from Jerry because I want to send Jerry a thing and he needs to send me some stuff so I can send it to him. I'm in Australia and Jerry wants some Aussie snacks to test out on his channel. So we're going to have a discussion about getting those over to him. And that's absolutely correct. The Creator Classroom. Don't make promises that you cannot keep. So if you are setting up your plans for channel membership or you're saying something in your streams, make sure it is something you intend to do. And if you have good intentions, but then something happens or whatever, be open about it. Let people know, like, hey, I know that I made this a perk. But I really can't keep it up, so I will be removing it as a perk. So those people who, if they joined for that one perk, they may leave, and you need to understand that that is a decision. But you have to be a person of your word. You have to be. No matter what the promise is, you have to make sure that it is something you can deliver. DMs. When somebody slides into your DMs, I have no idea. Well, when they slide into my DMs, I have no idea what their expectation is. I may not know this person, or I might recognize their name from a live chat or whatever. Unless it is somebody I've specifically said, hey, DM me, there is zero promises to keep. If they send you something that is inappropriate, report it and block them straight away. If they send you some really kind comments, you can reply. If they send some constructive criticism, you could reply. You don't, but again, could. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Just because someone sends you a message in a DM does not mean you have to reply. Okay, now I need to get that through, because that was something that took me a really long time to learn. Is that just because someone sends you a message doesn't mean you have to reply. Even if you read it and they can see that you've read it, does not mean you have to reply. You can totally reply if you want to. Absolutely. But you don't have to. Okay? Now, I have a slightly different opinion on comments on our videos, all right? Comments on our videos or on our live streams, it is definitely, something that I would endeavor to reply to if possible. Now, caveat time. Are you ready? Caveat time. If their comment is trash panda, if it's a piece of dumpster fire that you don't want, delete it, get rid of it. It doesn't have a right to stay there. It's up to you. It's your channel. Freedom of speech does not come into YouTube. Freedom of speech depends on the country. For a start, depends on the country you're in, right? YouTube is based in the US, but it still has to follow international law, right? So, and then even then, freedom of speech means that you get to say something without fear of persecution by the government or the law. It doesn't mean you don't have to fear having your comments deleted by a private entity or company or business that owns the platform you're commenting on. Like, I know that some people are going to be like, oh my God, that's, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, when people just, oh, there's a word for it. My brain just won't give it to me. Gosh, there's a word. Let me just drink coffee and I'll see if the word will come out of my coffee cup. No, it didn't come out of my coffee cup. I can't think of the word. It's very early here, okay? It's very early. But just because somebody writes something doesn't mean it has to stay there, okay? If they're spewing vitriol, if they're doing self-promo, if they're being mean-spirited and they're not being helpful in any way, there is no right for that comment to stay there, right? There is no right for it to stay there. You can delete it. However, if that comment, while being a little negative, is actually constructive criticism, maybe take it on board. Maybe comment. It's again, it's up to you. And it's also up to you to decide if it is constructive criticism or not. And also where you're at mentally, can you take it on? Because right at that day, you just may not be able to. It could be a day of days where everything is just piled on, and then you open up YouTube and that's the comment and you're just like, okay, wow, thanks universe, another nail, boom, boom, boom. So you have to make these decisions. What I will say is, if I am having a day like that, where it has been happening a little bit lately, lots of things happening in the background here, just life going on. Those days I probably won't check my comments just in case, you know, and you don't have to check your comments every day. But if you're a channel that gets quite a few comments and you skip too many days, it will be hard for you to catch up. Let me have a look here. Recently cut a lot of memberships due to creators not providing what they promised. Some even pivoted, and I am not into what they do. Nothing personal on them. And you know what? As a creator, you need to expect that. Like, you have to understand. I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. For some reason, it's quite large. There we go. You need to understand that if you change what the membership is, or you pivot your channel, you have to expect that you may lose some people. Like, it's just, you may lose some because that you're no longer doing what they were expecting. And also, like, another thing to remember is sometimes when you create boundaries as a human person, when you create boundaries, some people don't like those boundaries and they too will just go away. So when you have boundaries and you keep them, some people respect them. I'm a respecter of boundaries, and I'm sure there's plenty of people here in the chat who are respecters of boundaries, their own and others. But if somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, they can just, go away as well. And you don't have to be sad. They can just go, and that can actually make life a little bit easier. Red Laser says, I nailed freedom of speech perfectly. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Because I am in Australia and our rules are a little different around freedom of speech. So, and I have had to do a bit of research on the US freedom of speech because it is a bit different. DMs that are spam, that are trolls, that are nasty have no place. As soon as I see the red flags, I block them. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No one's got time for that crap. Just get rid of it. Just purge it straight out and then start looking for the good stuff. Look for the actual, and this is the thing, sometimes people are really frustrated. If you're a how-to channel, someone could have just been like, oh my God, why can I not find how to do this thing? And you may read that like, oh, geez, mate, calm down. But they're actually just really frustrated, and you could actually solve that for them. And I've done that a few times on different, channels or groups where somebody's just come in, just fired up, and they're just angry and stressed, and their comment just drips with like hate and annoyance, and you kind of like, you can look through it if your brain's in the right place, because sometimes it's not. You can look through it and go, oh man, they are so frustrated. And you can sometimes help. And if you help them and you're like, hey dude, I'm sorry you couldn't find it. Here is the answer you're looking for. I really hope this helps. And I would say in the instances that I've done that, it would easily be 80 to 90% instantly reply back with, oh my God, thank you. I've been pulling my hair out trying to fix this. You've just saved the day. And then they're calm again. And it's just because there's frustration and angriness. So you've got to be able to work it out. And it's hard sometimes because some people can just be really angry. For the most part, it's your channel, your rules for what you want in your comments and chat. I agree. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm still trying to come up with the word that I was thinking of that I've seen people say where it's like, where their comments are blocked, or there's a word for it where they scream it. They're just like, this is, and I just can't think of the word, and it's stressing me out. I'll be honest, it is stressing me out. Trolls do exist. Constructive comments sometimes come close to it. Just got to be careful. I 100% agree. Amazon, amazing yacht destinations. I 100% agree, because there is a fine line between a troll and a frustrated person. And no, I don't think it's restriction. It's something else. I thought it started with C. It probably doesn't. I can't think of it. Anyway. But yeah, so just because it's there doesn't mean you have to deal with it. All right? You don't. I find that posts, comments, or even DMs, and because even DMs, like, really, if you're going to DM me, I really hope you're somebody I know, honestly. Yeah, that's right, Freaky Geek. It is. It's going to come to me when I don't want it, when I'm laying awake thinking, oh my God, why am I thinking of this? Yeah, Freaky says it'll come to you as you're falling asleep later tonight. Yeah, it'll come to you when you wake up in the middle of the night from the creator classroom. Yeah, absolutely. Livestream Consultant says you can allow them to scream into the ether. I actually take a little bit of pleasure out of knowing that when you block someone from your channel, they can still comment. It's just none of us see it. So they just think they're being ignored, but they are not only being ignored, but they don't exist to us anymore. And with how my brain works, they literally don't exist to me anymore. If I don't see something or if I don't talk to somebody, my brain's just like, oh, they don't exist anymore. I'm like that kid whose parents go to work and they freak out because I don't have any parents anymore. It's kind of just how my brain works. But then the second I see them again, I'm like, hey, cool, great to see you. It's like, I don't know, what is that when your brain just stops you from thinking that people exist? It happens. It happens. It happens all the time. I have some friends who understand it and are not offended by it. And then I have other people who are so offended by it that they stop being my friend. So I'm really sorry if you're that kind of person. Anyway, enough about me. So if you have an absolute boatload of comments, because while this channel is small and young, it doesn't. But I know that some people get thousands of comments per video per day. And the sheer number, that just is just daunting in itself. And you have to decide, what are you going to comment to? What are you not going to comment to? Because do you really have hours every day just to put into comments for you as an individual? Possibly, possibly not. And yeah, it is. Oh, Marilyn M's just jumped back. I just went to the live stream I mod on. The block option comes up on my fellow moderator. Yeah. Yeah, I've accidentally blocked Doug Hewson. Yeah. I was able to unblock him, but it does happen. It does happen. Creative Classroom says, I take two different approaches. One, I'm super kind, which annoys some people, and I'll wait for the second response. The other is ask for second opinions on it. That is, I mean, that's also true. Just because, and this is something you guys here already know, those of you that have been in here before, some of you whose names I'm not 100% familiar with, what I share here is my opinion and my take. And it's not gospel. It's not. It's just my opinion. And so you may need to go and check out, I actually highly recommend everybody go and find other YouTube live streaming educators, because we all have little things that are our specialty or our little pet peeves or what have you. And finding that person that you resonate with to educate you is amazing. And it doesn't mean you can't have 20 people educating you. You know, you can be watching all the YouTube education live streams. At some time you need to stop watching and start doing, obviously, but working out who speaks to you in a way that your brain can just go, oh, that made total sense. Whereas you may have just watched 5 other videos that explain the exact same task and you're just like, what? And so finding the voice or the style of education, and the catch is that is correct. Okay, there are some people out there in the YouTube education space teaching terrible things. There is a creator out there who at an event, whose name I will not be saying, but at an event encouraged people to buy bots for their channel and to buy views. And it's horrific when you see that. Never buy views or subscribers for your channel. Ever. Like, it's just a hard underline, don't do it. Just don't. So making sure, like, consider the source. And I know if you're new here and you're looking at my channel like, okay, oh my gosh, she has 400 subscribers. Why does she know? This is not my first channel, and this is not the only work that I do. I have another channel that I've been working on for a couple of years, and I also work for Justin Brown and Nick Nimmin. So, and a couple of other channels that you may not know. So it's lots of learning over years and different people and different teachers. That's gross. I heard Nick mention it and then D kept guessing. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh. Red Laser, yes. If you're a moderator, you actually have all of the moderation options. Oh, actually, do you? I know you did. And they keep tinkering with things, but I believe you can actually time out a moderator. Let me just check. I can time out the Creator Classroom, but I'm the channel owner, so I'm really hoping I should be able to do that. But yeah, it's finding the educator that suits you. Now, one thing I do want to say, I mean, I was going to mention it later in the stream, but I'll mention it now because it matches, is Justin Brown does have another Primal Video Accelerator intake happening very soon. If you are looking for a way to learn from the most beginner basics of YouTube all the way through to expanding and building out your business, hiring on teams, like it's the entire spectrum. I would definitely go and check that out. He has a free webinar happening, I believe, this Friday over on his channel, but also he has the Primal Video Accelerator program is opening up next week. So I do have a link here. I'm going to grab that. Now, I've been a member of this group. I was a paid member for about 4 years, and now I am the community ambassador for this group, and it is so good. We're in a flux time of, we've just moved platforms, so everyone's still adjusting to the new platform, but it is just been a phenomenal like, for me, it was like I found the voice. You know how before I was saying, and I've been watching like a whole pile of really top level YouTube educators, and they were like people like Roberto Blake, and there was another one at the time, Think Media, because this is like 8 years ago. So it was just a little bit like I needed something like a different sort of way of speaking that was more better for my brain. More better for my brain. More better is not a thing, is it? I'm sorry. But yeah, so for me, I found that in Primal Video, and there's just a ridiculous amount of videos you can watch on, and it's not like you have to watch every video. It's a choose your own adventure. You go in, you're like, oh man, I wish I knew how to do this one thing, and then you can go through, find a video on it and watch it, and then just go off and do whatever you're doing. It just worked better for me. So definitely go and check that out. Now the link I've put in, usually you can only join the Primal Video Accelerator during their intakes. They have a couple of intakes a year, and you can usually only join during the intakes. But this link that I've dropped in here is one that you could just join anytime you want. Now it is the annual price up front, which is why they've made it that way. But if you want to pay the monthly price, which I think is around, please don't quote me on this, but I think it's around the $50 a month USD, then you need to join during an intake, which I think is next week. So it's definitely worth going and checking out. It is an amazing community of people. And the other members of the group are people from beginners to ridiculous. Like why are you in this group? Like, you know, but they're in there actually to help the other members. Like they received help over, you know, some years or whatever, and now they're there just to help out as well. So, you know, it's really amazing. It's just such a fantastic community of people, which for me, if you know me, you know I'm about the community. I'm about building the community. And our comments and our DMs can affect that. Okay. So, you know, sometimes you might get a bad DM and you'll be like, I'm never reading my DMs again. That was terrible. I'm not checking them again. You know, like there was a phase there for a while on Instagram where the DMs that you received were images of anatomy that were just like, that's it. I'm never opening another DM on this platform ever again, and just pour some bleach in your eyes because you just need to get rid of that. Please don't pour bleach in your eyes ever. It doesn't work. Well, it doesn't do what you want it to do anyway. Let's look at 0 to ridiculous. Yeah. Let me see. YouTube changed this in December of 2022. What did YouTube change? Oh, right. Being able to visit the channel. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, and what I do, and you guys don't need to do this. I just cut and paste and search in YouTube for the channel name, and because you know you've got the one screen open and you can see what their icon is. It's not the easiest if you're not a moderator. I don't know why they changed it, in all honesty, but they did. I think it was at that sort of time they were really trying to deal with the sub for sub and the hug for hug and the like for like, all that kind of dodgy crap that people do thinking it builds and works on their channels, which it does not work, FYI. And so they made it a little bit harder for people to find channels in live chats, which I don't think it actually solved the problem, but anyway. Yes, absolutely. That's what I think that's what it was related to as well. Oh, that's the other one. You report those DMs, and then the actual platform goes, that's fine. That's fine. Amazing. Your destination says, oh, there's no BMAC link pinned. Did I not pin it? Let me just see if I can. Do I have? I mean, I got that. I'll put that up there. Let me see if I can pin it. So BMAC is Buy Me a Coffee, as this is a young baby channel. It is not monetized in the traditional YouTube sense. If you would like to sling coffee my way, I don't say no. You can use that link there, the QR code, or if you just give me one little second, I'll find my Buy Me a Coffee link. Copy, and then paste. Paste. There we go. And now I'll pin that. Look at me go, doing stuff on the fly. There we go. Thank you for the reminder, Amazing at Destinations. I totally forget sometimes. Yeah, that's right, Creator Classroom. I won't share that one on screen, but that's correct. That's correct. That is correct. So some other options for dealing, if you have a lot of comments, or if you're getting a lot of comments with words that you don't like with them, please make sure that you're using the block words list. I know it feels weird writing in the words or the short phrase that you don't like, and it does feel just a little bit off typing those words that you wouldn't normally type. But typing it once means that you don't have to see it. It will be moved. It won't appear in your live stream. It could possibly be held for a review, which means that at least your community don't see it. And when you go to look at your actual comments later, it's in the held for a review section. So I do check my held for review comments, because sometimes it's not being held for review because of something on my block words list. It's being held because of something on YouTube's block words list, which they don't publicly put out. We don't know what kind of words or phrases it's responding to. And sometimes I look at a comment thinking, why was that blocked? And so you can actually comment and it'll reappear. But please make sure you're using the block words list. It really can save your brain down the track. But now we've talked about how to not respond, or how to purge or filter the comments a little bit to make it easier. But say you've got like 11 billion comments that you do that are encouraging or are positive, and you just don't want to ignore them. What I tend to do is I run through and I quickly, I don't have 11 billion. I have a few across a couple of channels. And I have a run through. And if it's just something like, hey, that was a great video, I give it a love heart and move on. If they ask a question, I respond to the question as best I can. And if you are, again, bigger and have more and more and more, and you've actually got a team member that you're bringing on to do this, you can totally give them the same thing. Your job will be to go through and look at all the comments and love heart the ones that are not actual questions. And then when I go through, I can just choose the comments that haven't been responded to, and it'll just show everything else. So then all I can see are the ones where it's a question that needs to be answered. So that's a good way, again, to filter again. If you have a teammate, if you've got a channel editor or somebody as one of the with a channel role who's coming in to help you with that, you can give them the job of just love hearting the ones that don't actually need a comment. I personally, and this is a personal preference, and you get to decide what your personal preferences are. I personally don't like other people speaking for me. So I don't want somebody like that it looks like Chantelle Hills has responded to your comment. No, I don't want that. If anyone's like Chantelle Hills, it's me. Okay, so if it's not farmed out, it's not, you know, given to somebody else to do. That will be me, and hopefully forever. Especially in my replies, I would make sure that if it was a team member, that they would write their name at the end of the comment as well, because sometimes you don't have the option to have team members have anything special, and you don't want people getting confused between dodgy brothers who say, I'm the manager of such and such, send us a DM and $50 and I'll put you on a one-on-one call with them. I've seen that happen so many times, and people fall for it, and it's so sad. So there's ways to make it so that your team members look official. So you could have, like, the Creator Classroom could actually have her husband commenting for her, and then he could be putting dash and his name, you know, so that the person watching knows it's from the official channel, but it's from a different person. So it is they could be, if it was a team, they could be a team member. Yeah, but I want their name on it, okay? And that's the thing. So I want their name to appear upon it. Let's have a quick look in the comments here. I've missed a few. There are mornings Chantelle can use pots of coffee, not just a cup or two. You know what? This morning I was sitting there standing there while I was waiting for my coffee in my Yeti to fill up. And I'm like, you know what? I really need a new drip machine. Mine's dead and I need a new one, and then I wouldn't, you know, then I could have literal pots of coffee in the morning. So I'm now researching decent drips. My last drip machine I got as a wedding present 20 years ago. I'm not surprised it's dead. But I have noticed that they are a lot nicer, and some of them make really nice coffee now. Let me look here. I love that YouTube, love the YouTube block words list. Absolutely. It's funny that I think, how did that go through without being held? Sometimes, absolutely. Always be checking, always be checking. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I wish that there was a comprehensive block list that we can download so we don't have to type them. I struggle to even think of the bad things. And I know there'll be many that I do not think of. There are some creators that do put out a block list that you can get access to and download. I don't know of anybody off the top of my head, but I do know that I saw one. But yeah, it's a tough thing, because then you've got to share a list full of bad words, you know. It's hard. It's hard. I added to my list as new things come in, and I'm like, well, let's add SEO to the block words list today. I know. And you know what's really hard is on this channel, I don't specifically talk about SEO as such, but that doesn't mean I won't, because I do talk about not just, you know, YouTube live streaming, and sometimes if you've built a websites still need SEO. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be a word that has to be blocked, but it's becoming a word that needs to be blocked. I'm just scrolling through those conversations between each other, which I love, by the way. I love it when you guys chat with each other. Oh gosh, yes. I wish there was a way to filter those who try to get around the blocked words by sending one letter at a time. Oh yes. Like, who has time to be sitting there, you know, like, doing that? It just, someone is very, very bored. Let me look here. It would be nice if you blocked a name. Any new accounts with that name would also be blocked, caps or lowercase. There's a lot of things like that I wish could happen. Like, there was a while there where over on one of the channels I mod for, it was just bombarded with booty girl people, and we would have to block. We were like blocking all sections of like their channel names and the things that they were posting to just try and get around it. But they were just, they would end, posts would get through and we're trying to get them again. My phone is about to be out of batteries. So Chantelle, I'm here, but my ability to chat won't be. That's okay. Thank you for jumping in. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, Livestream Consultant says plug it in. I mean, I have a question, all right? It's a little off topic. Am I the only one who makes sure that there is a PowerPoint for your phone? Or, I mean, I'm a USB-C girl. My iPad, my phone, and my laptop all take USB-C. I have the ability to do that on the couch that I like to sit at. I have it here at my desk. I set it up over at my husband's desk. I've got it set up in my daughter's room. Everywhere where I gravitate towards, and my bedside table, so I can charge my phone and watch overnight. Gravitate towards, there is a spot that I could be sitting doing stuff and just go, oh, battery, click, and just keep going. Is that just me? I think it's just me. Please tell me it's not just me. I do not like it when my devices run low. Let's have a look. Oh man, I go and buy extension cords and I run them along the back grooves of chairs so it appears exactly where I need. Like my husband's just like shakes his head like, oh my gosh, what are you even doing? Oh, I need to turn on my BMAC notification. Are they not on? Let me look here. I mean, I will check my phone and no, they're not on. Oh, I'm over here because, oh, that's moved. Let's just move that back over there. Okay, let me check my phone. That's a very, very subtle way, isn't it? Of telling me to look. Let's look here. I have a notification. Mail. Let's check my email. Oh my gosh, I have missed some things, haven't I? Amazing yacht destinations. Did that work? No, because I've got it muted. Let me try.
Coffee.
There we go. Sorry.
Jabba. Yes!
Thank you for your positive opinions and making us better creators. Thank you for always writing something really positive when you do this. I actually go back and screenshot them because there are days when my DMs and comments are not so positive. So I very much appreciate when you guys write something really kind in these coffee posts as well. But there's another one.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino. Jabba. Yes!
And this one's from Chris Haley, who is Livestream Consultants. He's a threefer, so he's bought me 3 coffees to get you started after the stream today. I very much appreciate all of those coffees. I will very much drink lots of, I love coffees. And thank you for the heads up. I didn't realize it was off. I don't usually turn it off. Kelly Powell is here. You're not alone. My husband has that set up all over the house as well. Oh, that's so awesome. I'd trip over the wire if it was long enough. I have mine set, I have mine run in such a way that they are not in the walking paths of our home. They're running along walls and up. It's very sad. Oh, and a power bank. Absolutely. I have 2 power banks that I keep constantly charged just in case I lose power. Oh, I'm such a tragic. Oh, yeah, Freaky. So Freaky's been around a long time, both here and over on my Fiberific channel. Freaky has been over on the Fiberific channel for, what? It's got to be at least 6 years, Freaky. Is that right? I don't even know. It's a long time. And I used to have an office out in my front yard. It was like an actual little building that was delivered. And I would run a cable from inside my house, through the entry, through the living room, out a sliding door, across the lawn and then up and in the window of the little office so that I could have internet out there. And it was an issue. It was a trip hazard. It was a trip hazard. But I don't actually have that running. So and even when I do have a cord, like there are some days when the Wi-Fi is just being such a baby that I do run an actual physical cord, that usually there's no one home except for me on a Monday, and a Thursday. Amazing Yacht Destinations has multiple charging places. I'm so glad to hear that. I also think I also use, I think it's the 6 or 10 foot USB cables with the right angle plugs on the end. I love a right angle plug. I don't know if you'll be able to see this one because it's a little bit short, but a right angle plug. Gotta love a right angle plug. I especially love them in the car. They just sit better. I'll just put that light back where it's got to go. There you go, little light. Love a right angle plug. Amazon. I love the Amazon U-Green cables. I've found them to be really good quality and inexpensive and just fantastic. I mean, and that's USB-C. I don't know about Lightning. I have one Lightning cable because for this old phone that I use for various things, it either runs as a second camera, which is currently running as now. So I could actually show you my desk if I wanted. But I also have it run Stream Deck. So I can have it, as a little Stream Deck. Like I can make it do the things. So if you can't afford a Stream Deck or you don't know if you need one, grab the Stream Deck app for your phone, pay for it for a month and decide from there. Freaky has a great sense of humor. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's great advice. Keep a kind of inspirational journal with awesome comments. That was a piece of advice I was given by Justin Brown many, many years ago. Our brains very quickly and very easily latch onto negative comments, or at least mine does. I don't know about yours, but human brains tend to look like to latch onto negative comments. And it's easy to have like 100 beautiful positive comments and one negative one, and guess which is the one we latch onto for the day? It's that negative one. So I do have a file of positive comments, kind words. I've received cards in the post, which I keep. I've got one up here, whereas I keep it closed, but it's just got, I can just show it to you, couldn't I? Let me just go to iPhone share and camera. There we go. So up here, I don't know how close I can get. Up here, I have one that's a photo of me and my daughter when she was a baby, and a card that just says "You are loved." And so there we go. Roadcaster, messy desk, Yetis. So we're just gonna jump back to the normal. Where is it? That's the fibrific one. There we go. So yeah, I do keep them around. I do have them where I can see them, because it's very, very easy to get lost in the negative. My chair isn't in a place where it would not be in a walkway. Okay, so I either have my couch in the living room, which is mine. It's my nest. I've got a craft around it. Nobody else can fit in it. Or I have my office, which it's a separate room where I can close the door. So yeah. Let me look here. How can you have DMs or messages that are not positive to you? Well, they happen. People don't agree with how I speak. They don't agree with my take on things. They don't agree with, some of them don't agree with the fact that I'm a female teaching this stuff. I don't get it. A lot of it's more about them, honestly. And that's something I have to remind myself of, because I do get affected by these comments. I'm not going to lie. I read them and I am affected by them. And this is why I am trying to help you to see less of those sorts of things that could do that to you. And I share with you how I deal with it, because I do get affected by these comments. I do get affected by what they're saying. And I can get a really mean, nasty comment, and my brain instantly goes to, oh my gosh, am I doing this wrong? It doesn't go, oh my gosh, this guy needs to take a chill pill. It instantly jumps to, I must be wrong. And then I have to sit back and have a good look and make a decision. And more often than not, it's them just being mean. It's not even constructive criticism, because I try to take constructive criticism on board, because otherwise I don't grow as a person. And I'm not perfect. Like, let me know in the chat, are you perfect? Because I'm certainly not perfect, and I might need perfect lessons from somebody. So yeah, it is. I'm just scrolling through. Michael Sahovsky's here. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. And Life with Lachia and Glyn. Hey, congratulations on 8,000 subs. That's awesome. Good work. Oh, I was wondering why you were still floating around. Yeah. Oh dear. It is a streaming desk. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just feel like there's some extra stuff on here at the moment that wouldn't normally be here. I do try to keep this, because like when I'm streaming for Fiberific, the whole desk pad has to stay empty. So everything on it needs to move off it, because this is in a shot. So I do try to keep this desk fairly tidy. Thank you, Freaky. Hello to all showing up. Lurking while working or traveling. Be safe. Good point. Like the hit button and change top chat to live chat. Gosh, that's such a Fiberific thing, isn't it? We used to, in the Fiberific live crafting chats, we would say this at the start of every video. Or you know, the hit the like button and change the top chat to live chat. We would do that every time. Yeah, they quite often do focus in on the fact that female. Yeah, and my appearance is another one that really gets hit on hard, because I'm not like beautiful or you know, and like I'm not fishing, but there are some creators out there who are intelligent and clever and so giving and so educated, but they also happen to be gorgeous. And I mean, I get messages telling me just to get off YouTube, that no one needs to see that face, you know, and I get messages like picking on my accent and things like that. Like I ignore all those. Like I try not to take them on board. Every now and again, I'll just be like screenshot and share it on Twitter. Like, oh, look what a fun one I got today. Oh, wow. Creative Classrooms was told that I was a woman, so I couldn't teach them how to use Canva. Wow, really? Oh my gosh. Hey, Hassan, great to see, Hassan. It's good to see you. RJ Hassan, sorry, I'm not caffeinated enough today for this, but it's good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Amazing Yacht Destinations has admitted that he is not perfect. Excellent. So you and I, not perfect. That is cool. Don't let the haters stop you from being you. You do an amazing, awesome job. I will not let them stop me. I'm still here. I might have some days where I'm a bit like bruised, but I'm still here. Live stream consultant says, I'm perfect in my own mind. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. The Creator Classroom says, I just said I had a male I could recommend, but they don't appreciate those that hate on female creators, so they probably wouldn't work either. Oh, yes. This is a great question from Infinity. As a managing moderator, can I assign moderators for the channel? No, you can't. I'm sorry. That is down to the channel owners or channel managers. They are the only ones that can do that. Yeah, unfortunately, there are times, right, as a channel manager, that there are things that you wish you could do. As a channel manager, I wish I could set up polls for, you know, like you'll be sitting there watching a creator and they're like, hang on, I'm just going to set up a poll. You know what the poll is. You could have set it up for them, or being able to pre-set up a poll, even as a creator, like as a channel owner, being able to pre-set up a poll and decide when to drop it into the chat. Like, how nice would that be? Like, yeah, there are definitely things that I wish I could do. Definitely. You have the option when you click on their messages. Really? I'm going to go and check that. Just let me write it down, because I know you definitely can't do it in a live chat. Let me just check Infinity. So when you click on, like, do the 3-dot option on a comment rather than on a live stream post, you can make them a moderator from there. Oh, sorry, I'm writing a big note so I don't get mixed up. I will definitely be checking. I'm managing moderator on a couple of channels, so I can go in and have a look. Thank you for asking that question, because I didn't know that was a possibility as far as I was aware. I know you can't do it in a live chat. I hadn't even checked to see if you could do it. Because, like, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that moderators actually can do stuff on non-live stream. I've seen education videos where they specifically say moderators can't do anything on VOD, and it's just the biggest, it may not be a lie, but it's the biggest unknown fact. Let's go with that. But as a moderator, you can moderate comments on a replay or on a VOD. Absolutely. So the comments that appear under a video, not in a live chat, as a moderator, you can moderate those. So misspoken info. Thank you. I'm trying the best, because they just may not know, and they're just saying it. If I don't know something, like, for certain, I'm like, I want to check it. So I definitely want to check that one, Infinity. I will put something out either as a short or next week's live stream to confirm or say what I found from channels that I'm the managing moderator on. I really appreciate that one. Yeah, Creator Classroom, I agree. But there's also some countries that do respect women less, or have certain places for women, and so they find it more difficult. And I understand that it's a cultural thing, but if it's a cultural thing, maybe don't write the comment. Because then everyone knows you've watched the channel. I've been, a live stream consultant says, I've been accused of having a weird accent when I go to visit my family in Rhode Island. Go figure. I had the accent in the past. Yeah, our accents change. I've got friends of mine that are Australian that have been living in the UK for 3 years, and they definitely sound different. So it's very weird. Oh, that went off. There we go. SMA Sky says, I've occasionally deleted comments missed during a live stream in the replay after the chat has processed. Yeah, absolutely. You can, I knew you could always, I knew that mods could always change the live chat no matter whether it's live or a live chat replay. I knew that. I accidentally did it one time, unintentionally, and I removed a comment that was pinned on someone else's chat, and I couldn't put it back. That was, oh, hey, I've just done something to your live stream and I can't fix it. I'm so sorry. It was unintentional. Luckily for me, they were really kind about it, but it was a mistake. Okay, let's have a look here. They sound different because they matured some. No, they've picked up an English accent. You might also add approved users on that menu as well. I'll double check that. I don't really use approved users. So I probably don't know as much about it as I could, but I will add that to the list as well. I don't know if managing mods can do anything with, I don't know. I'll double check it. My brain is not in its most alert space, but I will double check it before I speak. you were born and raised in LA in the 60s and 70s. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. All right. Like, one thing I'll say is if you ever come to Australia, not every Australian speaks like I do. We have different regional sort of dialects. I'm a Queenslander, and we say, like, if you go down to South Australia, which is like 2 states down and 2 states over, or diagonally, they speak differently. They use words like, I say castle, they say castle, and plant and dance. I use dance and plants. So it depends. Things change for different regions. Yeah, I'm going to read that out loud, but yes, agreed. So making sure that the comments that you're I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying, okay? Making sure that the comments that you as an individual need to respond to are positive or informative or rectifying comments or replying to constructive criticism. I think a lot of people need to learn the difference between criticism and constructive criticism. And that's on both sides, the people that are giving and receiving. Some people find it very hard to take any kind of criticism. I'm not awesome at it. I'll say that right now. But I will tend to take a deep breath and have a reread before I respond, because I need to give myself a chance to be like, are they right? Is this something I could be better at? Possibly. So, especially if I receive a negative comment, it might take me a little while to decide if I'm going to reply to it or if it even needs a reply to it, because recently I have taken on board a mantra of, I don't have to respond and I don't need an opinion on anything and I can just keep scrolling. So I do that. I love saying, only he who do nothing make no mistakes. So rather make mistakes and do nothing. Oh, I'm exactly the same. I'd rather make a wrong decision than no decision. That's how I see it. Look, a wrong decision is better than no decision. So I was in the San Gabriel Valley. I had an auntie and uncle that actually lived in the valley, which is in the San Fernando Valley. Okay. All right. I don't know a lot about American geography, I have to say. Oh yeah, you've definitely got to try and learn from your mistakes. Like, that's the goal, isn't it? If come on, add that. Freaky says, well, you learn from your mistakes, right? And I'm like, oh, I try to. Definitely. But anyway, back to the comments, bringing it back in. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't. You don't have to take everything on board. Someone's opinion is exactly that, their opinion. They're allowed to give it. You don't have to take it on. It's your decision. When it comes to commenting and feeling people, like when you've got public comments on your channels or on your Facebook pages or posts, making it so people feel engaged, versus avoiding because of the negativity, having somebody go in before you, so a team member or someone trusted to go in before you, then they can remove, like somebody who's got thicker skin or doesn't take it quite so personally, they can go in and block all the negative comments, heart all the comments that you don't need to reply to, and then just leave you the comments that you need to deal with. And then every now and again, jump into your held for reviews just to double check something good's not been left behind, because it happens. A red laser, I actually like that. Doing nothing is a decision. You are right. But deciding to do nothing is a decision. Just not making a decision is not a decision, I think is how that goes, at least for me. Because sometimes the answer is do nothing. It's like, no, that will be fine. Don't do anything. You're right. Sometimes that is the answer. Well put. Some people do take negative comments to heart. It's then we lose the great content. There are plenty of creators over the years that have left platforms because of the hateful comments that they've received. Whether they were deserved or undeserved, I don't know. I don't I don't know. I definitely feel that people, I'm trying to word this so carefully. People are feeling more comfortable, and more people are feeling more comfortable to write mean comments because there is no real life consequences to their words for them. Until they lose a creator that they actually kind of liked, but that they would pick on. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have this such and such a person anymore. Wonder whatever happened to them. I'm like, you happened to them. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes for people. And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes for the person leaving the comment either. And that also makes it hard. I'm an empathic person. I try really hard to think of, they must be going through a lot right now to write a comment like that. And I really try hard to think of it that way. But I also have to defend this tower, so I may make decisions to not reply, not engage, whatever, that may be even more offensive to that person. But defending my tower is my job. Livestream consultant says, I got thick skin. I just choose Chantelle's ginormous band hammer that's right behind her channel. I want a massive band hammer. Just a big wrench or a big hammer like the moderator wrench or the big hammer from Twitch. I'd like both, actually. Do we know anybody creative or arty that could make it out of foam or something? I actually, you know what? I do know someone. Let me just write it down. I need to contact someone and find out. They make cosplay weapons. So maybe, I don't know. I'd be like, hi, could you please make me a giant blue wrench? And they're like used to making like big, like, crazy, amazing things. And they'd just be like, what? That'd be funny. A wrench handle with a hammer on the end. I don't know. I think I'm thinking more like the crossover, like, the hammer and sickle thing, but one's like a hammer and one's an axe. One's a hammer and like, oh man, now we're getting axes involved. One's a hammer and one is a wrench. Can I buy an inflatable band hammer? Is that a thing? I'm writing it down. I should just keep my pen and paper over here. Inflatable. Apparently I can't write words. Band hammer. I'm looking it up. Honestly, I'll be looking it up. Goodness me. It will go flat over time, but I can just keep reinflating it, right? It's a knife wrench, but a hammer wrench. Oh gosh. Yeah. This is why you're so enjoyable. Because I get sidetracked. I'm like, oh, shiny thing. The Eka used to sell those big inflatable weapons. I haven't seen them for years. Oh my gosh. You get a ban, and you get a ban, and you get a ban. Very good live. Amazing at destinations. Oh my gosh. Yeah. For those of you that have not been here before, we tend to try to keep serious for about the first hour as best I can, which is not always good. And then after that, it's just a free-for-all. So like I just keep drinking coffee and just, it goes downhill pretty quick. So if you have a question and you do need me to answer it, put it in the chat. I've gotten through most of my notes here. Please let me know if you felt that this conversation around comments and topics and DMs, if I've covered everything you wanted covered. If there's something that you're like, but what about? Please put it in the chat so we can discuss that too. It turns something nasty into something fun and light, definitely. A Mario hammer? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I'll have to go and look. They have them on the Jungle Shopping Network. I'd post the link, but Jennifer would have to do it. Yeah, Jennifer's not here, I don't think, because she doesn't have access to somewhere convenient to charge her phone. Goodness me. That's right. I can look it up. But I don't even know if the Jungle Shopping Network would deliver to Australia, right? Hmm. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic of people commenting versus understanding what their comments do to the people reading the comments. I know that the people whose job it is to be like moderators and stuff for like Facebook, like the actual company's moderators, um, that they turn over those jobs pretty fast because it's pretty heavy. Some of the thing that they see. The Jungle Shopping Network. How is the? Oh my gosh, it's Amazon. Okay. I thought it was a thing. How am I supposed to know? I mean, I like it. I like it. I will check Amazon. I do have Amazon. Oh dear. Goodness me. Far out. Far out. I think SMA Sky, I think Doug's turned his Discord into a members only Discord, just like Nick has. So yeah. I mean, I have a fiberific Discord, but it is very much yarn crafting related. So if you don't like, if you're not into yarn, you may not you may be a little like, what is going on? I have moved into another realm of conversational topics. Um yeah, I do think I remember seeing a band hammer somewhere and I didn't buy it. I think it was at like a Comic-Con or something. So it was a local store. I'll definitely have to check. Oh, good. Red Laser. Thank you. Thank you. It's not just me that didn't get it. I am relieved that I'm not alone, but I'm also glad that neither of us are ending the stream going, what is like, I can't find the Jungle Shopping Network. Oh, goodness me. Oh, there's no activity in the Discord this week. I posted the other day. I posted a new thing. Anyway, it's a bit slow over in the Fiberific Discord. We're still adjusting to it. It's newish for us. And not everybody, like the yarn craft community and the Discord community kind of just meets like here and just gently, there's no massive overlay of age groups. But we're learning. There's lots of ladies in the Fiberific Discord that are learning how to Discord and learning how to connect their accounts so their channel memberships come up, and it's actually really fun. And they're really open to wanting to learn. So I think it's just patience and time. Patience and time. But yeah, just building community is about patience. Because I should rephrase it. Building a good community is about patience. It's about putting in the effort, putting in the time, and I will say I probably don't put enough time and effort into the Fiberific Discord community. I've got a few plates in the air at the moment that I'm trying to keep up, and there's also and the actual plates don't take a ton of time, but the mental energy around some of the other stuff, like in this last week, and we touched on this a little last Monday because it was a little bit chaotic here, and that was because my daughter has moved interstate to go and work in the snowfields, and it's her first time living away from home. So we got the phone call on Sunday. Like, she knew she'd been accepted for a role, and they're like, we'll let you know when we need you. We've got to wait for snow, right? This is Australia. Our snow season's short. And so they said they'd give us 7 days notice. So we were like, okay, cool. So, and we knew it's going to take her 2 days to get there because it's a long drive. And anyway, they get the call on Sunday and they're like, can you start tomorrow? And she was like, no, I need at least 2 days just to get there, let alone get ready to get there. So she actually left on the Tuesday to arrive by Thursday to start Friday. And so I'm still adjusting to the fact that she's not here all the time. So that's a big thing. And we only have the one child, so there's no other kids making a ton of noise. My husband's trying to make up for the fact that it's quieter now. So him and he's, razzing the dog up more. The dog sleeps more through the day now to prepare for when my husband gets home from work. It's kind of funny. Like Louis is like literally, let me just grab. Let's go. Let's go. Hello, Louis. Louis is on his little blanket, just passed out asleep. Oi, Louis. No, he's not playing. He wants no part of this shenanigans. Oh, there he is. Hello, big man. He's like, stop it. I don't want a camera in my face. I'm sleeping. Oops, let's change back to there. Yeah, so poor Louis is not coping. Hey, oh buddy. He's like looking at me. So, and then also we usually have 2 cars. My husband's car is broken down. And to get it fixed is a ridiculous amount. It's a perfectly good X-Trail. Perfectly good X-Trail. Everything else about it is in perfect working condition, except the automatic transmission needs replacing, and it is 7,000 Australian dollars to replace it on a car that's probably worth $11,000. So he, rather than like, we're still paying off my car, so he's taking my car to work. So I get to stay at home lots, which, I mean, I like to stay at home lots, but when I want to go to the shops or when I want to go and do something, I kind of can't now. And I'm finding that all a bit frustrating. So lots of things happening, and then the rest of life. So lots of things happening behind the scenes here that takes my mental brain somewhere else, where I'm like, do I really want to comment on this thing right now because I'm really grumpy because I want to go out and buy milk because we're out of milk and I can't. And our suburb is very much built around people having cars, and I don't want to get an Uber to go and get milk. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, it'll be like $30 in a round trip in an Uber to go and get, $5 worth of milk. It's very frustrating. He has grown some. Yeah, he's 3 now. He's a 3-year-old boy. That's a fully grown dog. He is 6 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. It's not a lot. He's little. He's a little boy. The cats weigh more than he does. Just don't tell him. He doesn't like it when we say it. Anyway, on that note, everybody, I think we have delved into the land of totally off topic. Just totally off topic. If you have any suggestions for future conversations, please drop them in the comments. I do check the comments, believe it or not. So let me know if you've got a question or anything. I will be getting back to Infinity with what I find on managing moderators' access and what they can and can't do on other channels in regards to their VODs. So I'll be definitely checking that out. I'll be checking with a friend of mine to find out if he can make me a blue wrench to hang on the wall, and maybe a band hammer. That'd be pretty cool, like right there, boof, right in the middle. Or do you know what would be even better than a foam band hammer or a wrench? Is a neon sign with them. Wouldn't that be amazing? I would love that. Anyway, probably not going to do that. That would be cool though. You guys have an amazing week. Keep an eye on how you're responding to your DMs or not responding to them, and your comments and any posts that tag you. And just remember, you don't have to respond to everything. You just don't. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.